In a day and age where society demands so much from you and gives so little back, you feel like you need an escape. And luckily, high in the mountains of Puerto Rico, there lies a community that allows you to do just that. A place where diversity is celebrated, where curiosity is rewarded, where creativity is encouraged, and where laws are something more like guidelines. Let the Transcendentalist inside of you flourish as you experience the unique and wonderful Azure Luna. Azure Luna rests safely within the embrace of this mountain range, and the people use it to its fullest extent. 3 rivers run their way through the community, and most of the 6 districts are centered around them. At the bottom is the biggest district, where most of the trading is done. Fishing is also taught there because of the lake nearby. To the farthest left and right mountains are the government/representative districts. Some people live there, but most of these 2 places are for deciding on guidelines within their sides, then coming together and compromising between their 2 ideas. Next to the rightmost river is the theater and art district, where performances are held and art is displayed for people to enjoy. Penultimately to the top is the housing district, where most people live. People live all over, of course, but for those who want to live closer to their family and friends, the housing districts are there for them. Finally, at the top is the education district, where the schools, labs, and observatories are. And everywhere that isn't a district is free range, where people are encouraged to explore and be in touch with nature. Seeing as how Transcendentalism focuses on being free of the shackles of society, our government is extremely lenient. In fact, it's much more like a representative system or a set of guidelines that people are encouraged to follow. However, there is some sort of grace that if you feel personally threatened or hindered or offended by something that is said in the laws, then if you can prove that you are being offended or attacked, then you're completely let free from it with no questions asked. The people of Azure Luna really enjoy the wide open spaces, the constant exposure to sunlight, and the being oneness with nature as they live their life completely surrounded and submerged in nature itself. Look, here comes one now. This is Michael. He's one of the head leaders here at Azure Luna. He's one of the teachers, he's one of the founders, he's one of the representatives, and so we'll let him talk about the city and talk about the community for a little bit. So here's a conversation we've had with Michael, but you can listen to it. Hello, it is me. I'm Michael, the guy who founded Azure Luna, partly with the help of some people. I kind of built it into what it is. Anyway, I founded this with the view of a transcendentalist community, where people are free and encouraged to express how they feel and their emotions and what they think about the world in a creative and all-around constructive way. We founded this actually off of a guy named Dr. Seuss, who's a children's author who believed in making things, grand, making them grand, all the places that you would go, making your imagination lead you kind of in life. So that's why we founded Azure Luna. It's a real great place. You should come visit. Speaking of which, the education system is quite unique, I'd say. It's almost with no curricular at all. Students are just kind of asked to keep a journal of the things that they ask and then the questions that they find and then explain their answers based on that. So let's say a child wonders, why does a frog make noise? Let's say 3 children ask, why does a frog make noise? And to find out, one child goes down to the lake and just watches frogs. Another one does like an experiment. He grabs 5 frogs and puts them in a room and then examines how they croak, and another kid just I don't know, watches a tree all day or something. The 3 kids will come up with different answers, and as long as they have some kind of backup to explain, it'll be completely fine, because it's more important that they have learned something than that they learned the right thing. The outside world might look at this as a bad thing, they might look at this as inadequate, but in Azure Luna, the differences that we come up with and the different explanations we have for things really come to reflect the way that nature works in and of itself. That different plants and different animals have different ways of doing the same thing, pretty much, and as long as it works for them, it's good. So we emulate nature in that sort of sense. Also, we learn to disagree peacefully in this way, because with different explanations for things, we can come to different conclusions and still live peacefully with each other. And nothing helps us settle those differences more than poetry and art. After all, that is the most important thing that is actually taught to the students, is the importance of poetry and art. Poetry and art are the two greatest things that the human race has ever invented, and it only continues to become greater and greater with each human life. That's poetic. In other words, poetry and art are two things that everybody has the ability to use, and every time they use it, it furthers the world in a sort of way. With that being said, no one has ever criticized to the point where they stop at making poetry or art, because the moment you stop someone from making poetry and art, you've, in a way, stomped a new flower into non-existence. And if you've done that, well, you're a real criminal against the world then, aren't you? So anyway, come on down to Azure Luna, the greatest Transcendentalist community on Puerto Rico, in like the middle of the island. Right up on those mountains, you'll find us. And when you come here, hey, we'll be waiting for you, because we accept everybody. As long as you're not like a terrorist or something. No terrorists. No terrorists allowed. We do not want terrorists. But everyone else is, I guess, not serial killers either, but I guess that's kind of... just, as long as you're not evil, well, I guess good and evil are subjective. As long as you're not a person who comes with the intent of doing harm to us, or nature, or our way of life, please come down here. We are more than welcome to have you join us in our quest to be rid of society as the world knows it.